Hey there. I know I haven't really done any voiceover recording before, so this is a little new. We'll see how it goes, bear with me. For those of you who haven't really heard me speak much, my name is Neil. I usually make volleyball videos, but I had a really cool experience recently where I got to go to Thailand for work, just an offshore oil rig sort of thing, and I got basically like 6 days afterwards to just tour around the island of Koh Samui and check it out. So this is some highlights for that. I'm just gonna try and do a voiceover basically describing what I'm seeing here, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe you'll never hear this, maybe it'll come out, maybe it'll be good. But yeah, so this first little place here is called the Magic Garden. Recommended to me by a good buddy of mine. You'll hear a lot about him through these videos, I imagine. Basically, he lived in Thailand for like 2 years and told me a bunch of cool spots. There was lots of like cool stone statues and stuff through here, as well as the waterfall running through the middle, so I just took as much kind of panning video as I could. Very cool spot. I'm gonna try and dunk you again. So I tried this shot a couple of times. And obviously this is all kind of new to me. Just twisting around trying to get pictures of the little fishies here was a little difficult, but I think it turned out pretty cool. And then after that, the audio got super messed up for like a couple of these clips from the water in the GoPro, so this will probably get muted and you'll just hear my big dumb voice talking over it, which is cool.
Check out this dude.
If I say anything unintentionally insensitive through the Magic Garden, I apologize, but I'm just like a dumb white guy from Alberta, so what do you expect from me? I mean, come on. So here I was kind of working my way back up from the bottom up the hill, and there's these cool little stones that you jump across, which was neat. Really, like, all of these sculptures could have been their own attraction most of the places that I traveled, so to have it all in this one spot concentrated was very, very cool. This was a really nice little panning shot that I actually took the time to do. Usually I'm just like a squirrel on cocaine while I'm videoing this. My head's just wiggling all over the place, so I was glad I managed to actually get one like nice slow pan of this really cool place. Now these statues were interesting because up at the top of the hill, you can't see it super well from here, but it looks like there's like tombs or coffins of some sort, like somebody was laid to rest there, which I don't know if that's actually true or not. There was like a little blue plate people would put coins on that you'll see me walk up to here on one side, and then a pink one on the other, so I wonder if it was like a couple, like a grandma and a grandpa or something like that. Hopefully, like I said here, hopefully this is the appropriate thing to do. I'm not sure. I just try and be as respectful of culture as I can when I travel to these places, but again, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I just came here because my buddy told me to. These little lizards were cool. Apparently they're living in somebody's, what I assume is a coffin, which feels very like Indiana Jones. But yeah, it was super cool. So after I was done in the Magic Garden here, I started driving back down the top of the mountain towards the like main stretch of Koh Samui. So this is the trip down there. This is like day one on the little motor scooter for me. Highly recommend that if you do traveling through Thailand that you rent one of these. It's pretty cheap, and as long as you have some bike experience, it's like the best way to travel around. Basically, like, I ride a bicycle a lot in the summer in Edmonton, so I pretty confident in my ability to balance and stuff, and like I used to drive motorbikes as a kid, so I know how like a handle twist throttle works. Somebody left a garden hose in the middle of the road there, which was super weird, but no worse than Alberta's roads though. No worse than Alberta's roads though, for sure, past Neil. Like the only white guy up here scared enough to wear a helmet. You hit the ground, or you hit this fucking Everest with a Mustang badge? What the fuck is that? I still don't know what that was. I was freaking out because I was looking at a Ford Mustang badge on an SUV. I'd never seen one of those before. I saw a couple of them while I was going down here. This is the cafe. Basically just like a nice little viewpoint. I have pictures of this. I didn't really bother to include them. I don't know, I'm not much of a photographer. I can post them if you want. Somebody let me know if you want the pictures that I took from the viewpoint up here. But like I don't have a DSLR or whatever the fancy cameras are called. I'm just a redneck with a GoPro and a phone. So like somebody else has probably done a way better job of taking the pictures up here. This little view is basically like the best that I could do anyway. So basically just riding down the mountain here to the end of the hill basically puts you back on. There's one highway that drives all the way around the island on the coast. So this is just the rest of the trip back down there. I saw probably 4 or 5 tourist trucks, like trucks with a bunch of people in the pickup bed headed up towards that magic garden on my way back down the hill. So I was really happy and privileged to have like the run of the whole place basically to myself. There was like one other couple there for the most part while I was there. I saw a little bit in that panning shot. Otherwise, I had the place to myself. So this is just the turn back onto that main highway. I had a really bad habit of, there's a little thumb switch that you use for your turn signal. Basically, every time I turned it on for the first day and a half, I'd totally forget about it and just be driving down the highway indicating one way or another like an idiot, even though I'm going totally straight. This is kind of interesting, a bit different from North America. People just cross the road, they don't care. Everybody around here turning is just, you do whatever you feel like, and if you get run over, it's kind of your own fault, so use good judgment, which honestly works. Maybe we're a little too hardcore about our road rules in North America, but maybe not, because there's like super high fatality rates and crash rates in Thailand as well. So I survived, but I don't know, it's just a different culture, a different way of life, I guess. Very interesting. There's a nice little road along the coast. You can see the beach kind of off to the right here. It was super fun to drive along the coast roads here. There's one day I spent, you'll see later. This is just basically the highlights from day one. I just drove around the whole island, just checking out places. This was the resort that I was staying in. I bumped myself pretty good coming up that a little too fast, like knocked the visor down, which is why the GoPro dropped. But yeah, it was a lovely little drive up and down to the Magic Garden. So thanks very much to my buddy Matt for the suggestion. The next little clip here is just a time lapse that I took, basically of my trip to the noodle shop. There's not going to be any audio for this other than just basically this voiceover, and if I put some music in or whatever, you'll meet a few cool friends that I've met along this little drive. Number one was the murder truck, who should be passing me pretty shortly here. I think right about now? No, maybe a little later. There he is. Yeah, this guy, he was just hauling through. Like, this is the main stretch of, I don't know if the town was called Koh Samui, but the island is Koh Samui, and this is like the main city there. I don't really know what it was called, but he was just ripping past people on mopeds, that guy on the car. Like, I always assumed when somebody is driving in a hurry that they have to poop, and he must have had to poop. But anyways, this trip along to the noodle shop, again, a recommendation from my buddy Matt there. He told me about this place, and it was really good. But any time that I drove anywhere that I didn't know where I was going, I think you always have to get lost at least twice. So this is the first one where I'm just checking my Google Maps, trying to figure out where I missed my turn, which obviously I did. And then usually the second time I'll get lost is I'll drive past the place that I'm supposed to be going to, go, oh, there it is, and then have to turn around and go back. I didn't want to make a right turn here because traffic was super sketchy and I was still getting used to the bike, so instead I just made like a left turn and then whipped around in the gas station there to make like a triple left turn into a right turn, I guess, something like that. But anyways, yeah, this is the trip back to Fisherman's Pier, I think, or Fisherman's Village, which was a really cool area. Basically, it's where the noodle shop was, and I didn't realize at the time, but it's like a big shopping center. There's the noodle shop on the left there. I drove by, and it's me just turning around to get there. And yeah, if you're ever in this neighborhood, check out this particular noodle shop. I don't remember what it's called, but if somebody wants to know, then I can definitely let you know. Just shoot me a message or whatever, and we'll make it happen. So from this point on, last little bike trip of the day was from the noodle shop over to that Fisherman's Village to just check it out and do some shopping for my lovely wife and the rest of my friends and family who I didn't end up buying much for because I just shopped for my wife most of the time because she's nice, and I'm sure she wasn't super happy about the fact that I was in Thailand just vacationing around like this while she was stuck at home taking care of my life. So thanks for doing that again, and this is where I went to get you a bunch of your gifts. There's this cool boat, and then kind of on the right next to the beach there's lots of these little bars, and then off to the left there's like dress shops and jewelry shops. There was a couple places that did tailoring. Seems like that's really big in Thailand, that you can go get a suit professionally made a day for like $180. They'll do a jacket, pants, and a shirt, which is super cool. Other things along here, there were a couple art galleries. Just driving past on the right there's a bar, and then as I kind of went down the street a little more, you passed these really expensive looking hotels on the left. So I think this was more the posh area. These hotels here with the big beach just right next to it, all the chairs laid out. This is a very cool road to drive down just because most places you couldn't see the beach like this. There'd be buildings on either side and you had to sort of sneak down an alleyway to get down to the beach itself. But staying over here in one of these hotels, I imagine, must have been a little on the pricier side. Obviously, everything's fairly inexpensive in Thailand, but over here is probably one of the more expensive areas for sure. And that was reflected even in like the restaurant prices and stuff, where you'd be paying like $800 for dinner, or not $800, 800 baht for dinner, as opposed to 150 baht at like the little noodle shops and stuff that I like to go to. But the food was good everywhere, so it just kind of depended on your budget. This is just driving back towards the shopping area, sort of to the east of the fancy hotels, and I just pulled up here to stop and do some shopping in these little shops here with like the hats and the dresses and the jewelry and stuff. So yeah, all in all, a very cool first day. Should be more videos about the rest of these. I'm gonna try and just kind of do a day-by-day highlight. I had to cut out so much just because I took a lot of video footage, and most of it's fairly similar to stuff that I'm showing you, so hopefully this voiceover went well and you hear it and this exists on the internet one day. Alright,